very good morning to everybody and welcome to the San Antonio River with Captain JC. Thank you very much for your patience today. If you have questions or concerns along the way, please don't be shy. Let me know what's on your mind. Most people want to know how deep is the water. It is between 3 and 5 foot deep. We have life jackets on this vessel. We won't need them. No smoking on the boat. Please, let's keep everyone safe inside of the handrails. Again, thank you all very much for joining us.
Sir, I'm going to ask you to have a seat.
Okay.
Bridges push it off.
Sitting.
Before we go too far, are there any questions? The river itself is an ancient spring-fed river. It's been around, like most in Texas, over 10,000 years. The Native Americans here were called Payayas. This amphitheater that we've entered, called Arneson, was opened in 1941, has grass-filled seats to the left that fit 800 people as they watch the show to the right, with 5 bells behind the stage that represent the 5 missions in San Antonio, which are the only World Heritage Site the state of Texas offers. San Jose, San Juan, Concepcion, Espada, and the Alamo are the names of the buildings Spaniards built in the early 1700s as they converted Native Americans to Christianity. They're 8 miles south of this location. Should go to the top of your to-do list. Look at the old buildings from the early 1700s. It's called San Antonio Mission.
I didn't know they were fine. I knew that.
A cowboy here on the right side, rustling up the longhorns in front of our Briscoe Western Art Museum, where General Santa Anna sword can be found and Pancho Villa saddle within the walls. Free on Tuesdays between 4 and 9. Only on Tuesdays. Free admission to the public between 4 and 9 p.m. In front of us, the Presa Street Bridge is a 100-year-old bridge put on hinges. As you can see, it's open for traffic. We have to ask everyone to please remain seated, especially underneath the Presa Street Bridge. By the way, can everybody hear me okay? Am I talking too loud? We're good? All right. So we made it through the Presa Street Bridge. Up ahead on the right side is our Marriage Island. The city rents out this small island on the right side here, averaging over 300 weddings per year on the island. It's our most popular spot. We call it Marriage Island. I've seen 4 weddings in one day. It's been said that it's good luck to get married on the heart-shaped island made of the root structure from the tree on top of it. They even put rose petals on the ground for the ceremonies. My uncle thought it was good luck. He got married here 8 different times. On the right side, there's a cowboy crossing the river here at the Old Mill Crossing, part of the Chisholm Cattle Trail. If you watch the old cowboy movies, you heard of it. That Chisholm Cattle Trail crosses the river here. It's been renamed Navarro Street. The wagons can get through here without disassembling, as it's shallow and has a hard packed bottom.
Right there, I guess. They're taking a picture of it. Yeah.
Unmistakable call of a baby duck to their parents here in the background. And above us to the left is our favorite building, featuring the Texas flag on top of the Tower Life, opened in 1929, featuring mythical gargoyles up on top of the building. And right here on the second story where I'm pointing, below the windows, are some pretty creepy looking faces that the architect Ayer called grotesque. The faces and the gargoyles put up on the building to protect it, ward off evil spirits, and bring good fortune. It's been fully occupied. 1929 with no 13th floor on our favorite building, the Tower Life. The reason they made that Tower Life was to provide office space for the professionals working the building in front of us. Bexar County Courthouse opened in 1892, made from granite and veneered with red sandstone. That gorgeous building is one of the oldest courthouses still in use in the state of Texas. While we said it was shallow, less than 5 foot deep, we are entering the deepest section of the river here called the Flood Bypass Channel, opened in 1929 as well. This channel is about 25 foot deep. We have a massive pipe buried underneath downtown, 25 foot diameter, 3 miles long, taking 80% of our floodwaters away from downtown. As we turn the corner here, I'm going to offer you good people the best photograph I can of our favorite building. Try to get us in the shade before I get you to blind yourself. Pull into the shade here. I'll stop the boat for your photo opportunity, which is back behind us now that we're out of the sun. That Texas flag is cooperating. That's our favorite building and the best shot we could possibly provide. If you'd like to take one, here's your chance. The roof on top is made from copper. The elevator inside designed by Tiffany and Company. It was an extravagant and over-the-top building in 1929. We were going to make a lot of them, call it Bowen's Island, to be our equivalent of Rockefeller Plaza. Timing was just off in 29. 2 months after the building opened, the stock market crashed and 10 years of depression followed. Still our favorite building, fully occupied with life insurance companies and law offices. Underneath this bridge, there are some nests of our favorite little birds. They're called barn swallows. Sometimes you'll see them peeking down at the boat from the nest underneath the bridge. Any birds up there today? They lay down.
Here they are.
Above us to the left here, the Locks of Love started in Paris, France. Romantics put each other's name on the lock, set it, and throw the key into the water. San Fernando Cathedral is above us on the left side, opened in 1731. The building has 2 crosses on top of it. It's open today. If you like old buildings, you can walk right into that cathedral. Tonight at 9 o'clock, if you stand in front of it, you'll see the show that uses the building as a screen, a $1 million production called Saga. It begins tonight at 9 o'clock in front of San Fernando Cathedral. A 24-minute musical that tells the history of South Texas. The biggest and the oldest tree that we have is this bald cypress tree ahead of us. It's a 350-year-old tree indigenous to the Louisiana area. A fig tree growing out of the wall on our right side was slammed into the building during the flood of 1921. There it is. On the right side here, a big tree producing figs growing out of the building. And the second time on the right side here, the old Prohibition story at the Esquire Tavern, where it used to be a barber shop during the Prohibition era. At daytime and nighttime, it was a speakeasy. No one was surprised when they opened as a bar 1 minute after Prohibition ended. They were fully stocked and staffed. They've been here since 1933. Do you guys have any questions? How we're doing so far? Thank you.
No.
Pretty good morning for a boat ride.
Very peaceful.
Aztec Theater is above us to the right with the Aztec warrior looking down from above here. Remind us what the architecture inside this building would look like. It opened in 1926 as the first silent theater in the United States of America. That's where Charlie Chaplin used to perform. It's still open today as the House of Blues.
Which one?
The Aztec Theater 1926 with the Aztec warrior goddess that we just passed on the right.
Where is it?
We do have the slowest boat in the fleet, moving within a rush. This is full throttle. There's a pretty good photo opportunity in the building above us to our left side now. There you go. The Joseph Nix Hospital appears to be a one-sided building. Good shot, sir. It's a hospital. It's open since 1930, the birthplace of George Strait and Carol Burnett. The architect of San Antonio's river wanted us to feel as if we were traveling from one courtyard to the next. Every time we come around a bend or a turn in the river, we're kept guessing as to what's around the bend. In this case, we're turning into the River Square, the heart of Bristol. On our left side, the Hyatt Regency Hotel is as close as we can get to the Alamo. The Alamo is directly across the street from the front of this building. The Casino Club building on our right here opened in 1927 as a private club for German business people.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah. Oh, is that what you're talking about, the shop
There's a bust in front of the staircase on the right side of Robert H. Hugman. Looking back at us, this is the architect of San Antonio's river. This young man was 26 years old. Inspired by Venice, Italy, and New Orleans, the San Antonio native Robert H. Hugman, we want to thank you for your vision. Without it, we would not be here today. He drew the blueprints up for President Roosevelt to put into action. We built the Riverwalk between 1938 and 1941. The project funded by the Work Progress Administration. Roosevelt attempted to help get us out of the Great Depression. Casa Rio on the right side was the first restaurant to open down here in 1946. They put chairs and tables on the river. They also inspired the boat ride we're on today. The original boats in the 1950s down here, they were gondolas, canoes, and paddle boats, and they would tie down to the dock on our right with the iconic umbrellas.
Yeah.
They have come a long way from the gondolas of 1950s
Yeah.
to this electric lithium-operated boat with LED lights. Cost $185,000 for this boat. Welcome to the future. As we turn to the left here, we've entered the man-made extension. The river itself is an ancient spring-fed river over 10,000 years old, like most of Texas. The Native Americans here called Payaya call this river Yanadwana. Yanadwana means peaceful water. The city struggled to find its identity until 1968. Not knowing what else to do, we decided to have the biggest party we could. We invited half the planet to the party in '68, called it the World's Hemisphere. Lo and behold, half the planet showed up to the '68 fair. It sparked our economy. 50 years later, we're still reaping benefits. The '68 World's Hemisphere, which is the reason why we added this man-made canal on the ancient river. You can see the top of the walls surrounding us. That's the street level. We came in with heavy machines, dug it all out, put concrete sides, concrete bottom to the canal. Twisted turns were added to the river because nature does not work in straight lines. These trees were transplanted almost fully grown. This street lights added for ambiance. Did a fantastic job here. Man-made channel. Up in the sky to our right side is the main attraction for that fair in '68, the Tower of America. 750 foot to the top. For a small fee, you can ride the elevator up there. Look at the entire city from above. They also have a restaurant available, and as you sit down, you revolve around the sky once per hour. Any questions so far? Now we're headed into the mall. We're going to drive right through the mall. It opened in 1988. Now into the shops at River Center. Surrounded by restaurants here on the river level. Got 1 million square foot of shopping inside the building, 125 retail shops, Macy's department store, left-handed shop, massage therapy, and a movie theater screen called IMAX that's 3 stories tall inside this building. From 10 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night all week. With the Alamo across the other side of this building as well. Some rosemary plants here to the right, some ginger plants in front of us, an Asian plum tree followed by an orange tree on the right. Subtropical climate allows us to grow a wide range of vegetation down here, controlled by the city of San Antonio. This tree is full of oranges. I'd like to introduce everybody to San Antonio, the way he looked like as a person. On my right side, looking back at us, this is St. Anthony of Padua. Patron saint to small children, lost causes, lost objects, and poor people. Walked the earth between 1195 and 1245. That's San Antonio. Feast day of St. Anthony is June 13th. One more look at that Texas flag on top of the Tower of Life. That's where we started.
Why are the bridges built so low?
That's a very good question, sir. If I could talk to the architects, I would ask them. A Roman Catholic church above us to the right named St. Joseph's opened back in 1868. Still has the original bells in the steeple up there from 1868. And a German-spoken mass is held within the building the fourth Sunday every month. St. Joseph's, 1868. Now, when they opened in 1868, Joske's wanted to buy the church so they could build a superstore here, the biggest department store in the biggest state. The church was not willing to sell. Joske's opened in 1888, built over the property line on all three sides. Ever since, the locals have called it St. Joske's of Texas. St. Joseph's opened in 1888. There's a cormorant in the water here to the right side that'll come up with a fish in his mouth. They swim like penguins. Have a needle beak. Pop up out of the water here in a second, maybe with the fish to show off.